Welcome. My name is Kathy Kramer, and I am the Adult Education and Literacy Specialist. And I'm here to support teachers and students and our program as a whole. So if there's any questions that you have after this today, please feel free to email me, which I'll put in the comments. So this is the sixth in a series of Facebook Lives that we have prepared for you to introduce some of the programs and information that we have here at Joliet Junior College. And just as a reminder, we are still accepting applications for online classes. So in the links, you'll also find, or in the comments, you'll find a link for our enrollment. So please be sure to fill that out as soon as possible. And today I'm really excited to be talking with Libby Budd, our program manager, my friend, and my boss. She's everything.
There you go.
So today we've prepared some questions about our program as a whole. But if you have any questions as we go along, feel free to leave those in the comments, and we would be happy to have Libby answer them. So welcome, Libby.
Hi, how are you? How's everybody out there?
So Libby, we've had a lot of changes in the last 6 months. How are you feeling about this new semester?
I am feeling actually quite positive right now about this new semester, because obviously we went through a long, rocky road of getting to this point, but I see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I see a lot of good things that are coming out of a little bit of a catastrophe. So I'm actually quite positive about it right now.
Yeah, we are. It is feeling kind of exciting this fall compared to spring.
Yes, spring was a shock because nobody planned anything. But this one we were able to plan a little bit. We kind of had some ideas of what had worked in the past and how. What could we change in the future to make things better? So I think there's a lot of good things happening right now.
I agree. So before I get into some questions, can you tell us a little bit about what your role as a program manager in the Adult Education and Literacy Department means?
Okay, so as the program manager, I sit back and I watch everybody do all of these wonderful things, and I am amazed over and over and over. I just am surrounded by people that are exceptional in their jobs. And it goes from the people that are staffing the front office, to the teachers that are in the classroom, to our Kathy right here, who is sitting here at doing a live presentation with us. We have a college and career transition specialist who is second to none in her ability to help the students. We have, there's an ESL director or a manager here also. Her name is Mandy Dwyer, and she does the ESL portion of the education. Again, another stellar, outstanding person. I mean, from top to bottom, I'm just so fortunate to be surrounded by people who care about adult education and helping people attain their goals. Who, and a lot of us think, we wish we have goals, but we don't know how to get to them. This department helps with that step to get you going in the direction that you need to go.
All right, perfect. So it sounds like you've got a good job.
I do. I love it.
So Libby, a lot of people have a big question. What will happen in January? Are we going to be online or face-to-face?
Okay, so that was just answered just recently by the president of Joliet Junior College, in that she said she wants the spring semester to mirror what is happening right now. So what's happening right now is all lecture classes are now online. And that includes whether you're taking an ESL class or if you're taking a GED or HSE class with you trying to get a high school equivalency. ESLTP classes, which is early school leaver transition classes for those who are trying to get a high school diploma. Everything is online. The only exception that we have in our department, and other departments have this exception, is if you have a class that requires, oh, let's say you have to do a lab, and you have to get into a lab, or you have to go into the kitchen and you have to do some manual thing that has to get done. You can go into those classes. They are very different than what they used to be, though. The maximum on those classes is just 9 students and 1 teacher. And there are a lot of safety situations that have to be taken care of. We have 1 face-to-face class that will be starting on September 15th. It will hold 9 students, and it will be held at City Center. But all of our other classes are going to be online, which is really nice, because it used to be, oh, you know, you needed a morning class, or you really wanted an afternoon class, but we don't have an afternoon class, or you needed an evening class, or actually I'm on a swing shift and I can't pick one class. Online, you can do it, because you have the autonomy, you have the ability to go to the classes and do your work and put in a lot of hours pretty much anytime you want to do it.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah.
All right, so sometimes we get students who say, I think I'll just wait until we're back to face-to-face. What would you say to that student?
I would say, I understand. I understand, because I remember how scared I was to think that I was going to have all of these classes online, and we've never done it before. And I remember someone talking to me about Zoom, and I was like, well, tell me about this Zoom thing. You know, it was, you know, when I look back now, my world has changed so dramatically. And I didn't grow up with technology, so it would be a little intimidating for me. So I understand why you might think to yourself, oh man, I don't think I want to do these online classes. I'm going to wait. We don't know when we're going to come back face to face, or if we ever will come back to the way it was. In all likelihood, the first step back will be a hybrid class. We would never probably go straight back to face to face. A hybrid would be half of the time you'd be online and half the time you'd be in classes. So my suggestion to you is this. All of the teachers are learning how to do online classes right now. All of your peers, your other students that are interested in this, they're all learning how to do online education right now. Now's the time to jump in and not be afraid, and to know that everyone in our department is here to support you and to help you. And so you should not feel nervous. You should, although I know you will if you're normal, but I don't want you to be afraid, because we are all here to support you. So, sign up for that class and just say, I don't know a whole lot about it. Can you help me? And believe it or not, we have a team of people that can help you.
Yeah, it's true. We have excellent teachers that are willing to work with you to get help with those technology skills. And one of my jobs is to help you also. So you can always contact me and say, hey, can we practice Zoom before I get on with my class? Because I don't want to be embarrassed if I do it wrong, because that's what we do. We practice Zoom in small groups before we get on with big groups. So we're not embarrassed.
Oh yeah, we practice this. I said, what? Facebook Live? What is that? How does that work now? It's just, it's fine. We did it. Yeah. And you can too.
Practice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it becomes more comfortable for sure.
Definitely.
All right, so we have a lot of students who are in our English as a second language program, but they want to get their high school diploma. They're just not sure if they are ready for HSE classes. Maybe my English isn't where it should be, or what if all the other students know more than me? So how do you know if you're ready to start taking first of all, what is it? What's HSE mean? That's kind of confusing for people.
Yeah, because a lot of times I'll be talking about HSE and somebody says, well, I was interested in GED. GED and HSE is the same thing. GED is the name of a company that gives the test, and that used to be the only company that would give the test in Illinois. So we kind of we started calling it GED. You really aren't getting a GED. What you're getting is a high school equivalency. It's a diploma that's equivalent to a high school diploma. So you want your HSE, a high school. You might take the test with GED, but you might also take the test with another company called HiSET, or there's another company that's called TASK. So there's other companies that can give these tests, and that's where the GED came from. And then your question was about ESL.
Yeah. So if I'm an ESL student, how do I know I'm ready for HSE classes?
You're ready. Are you interested in an HSE class? Then you're ready. And I'm not trying to make it a simple. I'm not trying to be, flip about it. But if you have an interest in it, that's what we do. And that's what our teachers do. And we take you from wherever you are and move you forward. And don't worry about your English language ability. We are trained to take care of that. That's what we do. All of the teachers are ready to do that for you. And here's the other thing I want. I heard Kathy say something that made the hair in the back of my neck stand up when I'm not, I heard her compare herself to another person in a classroom. And I know I do it myself. I've done it in the past. But you should never, ever compare yourself to whoever's sitting next to you in a classroom, in an adult ed classroom. We are all working for the same goal, but we are all starting in a different spot. And that is a fact. No one in a class of 20, nobody is starting at the same spot. So when you want to compare yourself, you compare yourself to where you're starting and how far you progress in the classroom. You don't have to look at anybody else. The only thing that counts is you and how you progress in your classroom. And know that we are waiting to help you. So it doesn't make a difference where you come to us. Our goal is to bring you along and get you closer to your goal.
Yeah. And I think that sometimes new students don't realize that we are like a big community. We're a program, but we're a community here to support you. And maybe your teacher's supporting you, but you need somebody else, a tutor or somebody else, Libby, me, Michelle, Mandy, somebody else that could help you. We're all here together to help you.
Yeah. And I, at that point, I do want to say one other thing. The teachers actually get together as a group every week and they talk about their classes and say, I'm having a problem with this. I'm not reaching this student. How does anybody have an idea on how I could help this student? So the teachers are always thinking about ways to help our students. It's just ingrained, I think, in adult education. I really do. So don't be hesitant. Go ahead and take that plunge. We're here to catch you.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So, Libby, before you became the program manager, you were one of our teachers. You taught math and science. And we still have students who, Libby was my teacher.
Yeah.
So you're in an interesting position because you've seen students succeed as a teacher and as a program manager. So what are some tips you would give someone who is working towards their high school equivalency or GED, high set, and how can our program help them to be successful?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was the hardest thing about becoming a manager for adult ed. It was the fact that I had to leave the classroom because that's to me is just it gives life. It's just working with the students. We have so much to offer in adult education. We have tutors that will come in and they will sit. Well, I will say sit with you, but they will Zoom with you and and work with you. And so we have teachers that I keep referring back to face-to-face. They get to class early, they stay late, they're working all the time. So we have teachers that are free to give their time, not just during class time. I know that teachers are meeting individually with students. They have times where they do meet regularly with students, but then there's also times where they meet with other students. And I want you to also know that when you come in, it's not a uniform, like you're going to fall into this and that you're going to take this lesson and do this step and then do this. It's not like that. It's every student is met with what they need. So I want you to understand that you're coming in as an individual. And I think that kind of reflects back to what I was saying a little bit earlier when I said, don't compare yourself to everybody in the classroom because everyone isn't starting at the same place. That also means that everybody doesn't need exactly the same type of instruction. So we do try to individualize to the specific needs of each of our students in the classroom.
So that's another question a lot of people will ask. How long does it take to get my high school diploma?
I hear that all the time. But let me tell you why it's a tough question to answer. some students come to us right out of high school. They just didn't like it. High school didn't work. They decided they're just going to come in and they're going to get their high school equivalency. They might have dropped out as a senior, and they probably could take that test pretty quickly. You know, they might only be with us for 1 or 2 classes, and they could get that test really fast. Then I have some students that honestly, they never were able to, maybe they were, I've had students that came from different countries that didn't have access to the education that we had. Maybe they had to go to work early, all sorts of things. Maybe they dropped out as freshmen. Maybe they never even got into high school. So many different things have happened along the way. So they're going to need a little bit more time because they didn't get as far along in their education as somebody else may have. And then some, and some people dropped out early and they went to work and they've been working for the last 20 years and they've decided they want to get their high school equivalency and they haven't seen a classroom for a long, long time. So the answer is, I don't know, but I would like to sit down and talk with anybody who has questions. And a lot of times what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do some assessment. I want to say just assessments. I don't ever want to use the word test because when you come into adult education, you will be given some assessments, but you cannot pass them and you cannot fail them. They're just kind of a way of saying, this is where you are. This is what you know, and this is the path to where you have to head. So that's the other nice thing is a lot of times people say, well, I heard we have to take a test to get in. Well, no, you don't. We just need to know where you are, because if you already know how to do equations, I'm certainly not going to sit here and tell you how to do addition and multiplication. I need to know where you are. And that's all these tests tell us that, she knows up to this point. And so at this point, this is where we'll start with her. It's just, we're just looking for a starting point. That's all that is. So you can't fail and you can't pass. You're just going to go, oh, okay, this is where I'm starting. Let's do it. Oh, she has a pet grizzly bear in her.
My senior dog finally woke up.
Most people have dogs or cats. She likes bears.
So we've talked about lots of benefits that our program offers for students who are learning English, earning their high school diploma, or even, building some basic skills for college. Maybe you have your high school diploma, but your skills aren't quite ready for college. Is there anything else that you can think of that we offer our students or the community as a whole?
Okay, so the community as a whole, I guess what I want to talk about here, and I'm not really talking about individually with students right now, but we have a lot of good relationships with different high schools. For example, we have a strong relationship with Plainfield right now. We have a family literacy program over there, and a lot of the parents are learning both English, and a lot of them are working on their high school equivalency, while their children are also getting enrichment courses through our family literacy program. So we have things like that. We have relationships with the Spanish Community Center. We have classes through that group, as well as Riverwalk. So we have a lot of strong relationships within the community.
My dog's talking to me. Sorry.
I could tell. And Kathy's going to talk right back to her dog.
Dogs before Facebook.
Exactly. My fingers are crossed that mine stays sleeping. She is right now.
So students, this is what happens when you're live. And this is what happens when you're doing your Zooms and everything. Life happens, and it's okay.
Yes, it's absolutely okay.
Okay, so we have another program that isn't quite as known as our ESL and HSE program, and that's the ESLTP, or Early School Transitions Program. And in a few weeks, we're going to have one of our instructors here telling you more about that. But can you briefly share what that program is and how students and school counselors can learn more?
I want to say that this is the best kept secret in education in the state of Illinois. I wish I could get this information out to students. Oh, that would be my telephone right now. I
Life
apologize.
happens when you're
It certainly
online.
does, doesn't it? But Early School Leavers is a program that is funded. It's a grant funded program. It's absolutely free. And by the way, everything in our department is free. You will never pay a penny for anything that we offer. It's absolutely free. But this is such a phenomenal program. A lot of times things happen to kids in high school and they realize they are not a fit. It's not working. Maybe they're getting bullied. Maybe they have high anxiety. There are so many stories that I could share with you as to why students have to drop out of high school. It's just not a fit. This is an option to them. They do not have to go in and get a high school equivalency or GED. They can go through their high school and get enrolled into our early school leaver program. And what happens is the student will go to their counselor and tell the counselor, I would like to join the early school leavers at Joliet Junior College. And then the counselor fills out a form that lists everything that the high school still wants them to take. All the classes like English or history, even physical education. So we also service Catholic institutions and religious institutions. So perhaps you have to have a comparative religion or some sort of a religion class. They list all of the requirements, even including community hours. And do they have to take a constitution test? And they send that paperwork to me. And then we call that student in, and we have high school teachers who will help the student recover the credits that are missing. And along the way, they meet wonderful people like Michelle Lyman, who is our college and career transition specialist. And she helps these students decide what are they going to do after they earn their high school diploma. So I always say, well, they could join the military, or they could go and go to college, or join a union, or list all the different things. I always tell the students there's only one thing you can't do, and that is you cannot go home and live in your parents' basement. So what that is, you cannot do that. And parents are kind of happy that I mention it to the students along the way sometimes. But what Michelle does is she makes sure that if they want to be an electrician in the union, connect them with the union, go and talk to them. What are the requirements? How do you do it? You want to get into the military? What arm of the military? Have you talked with a recruiter? Let's get you with the recruiter. What are the requirements? Where would you go? Get all your questions answered. You want to go into be a dental hygienist? Where would you go to school for that? How could you apply for maybe a grant to get you further along? And that's what she does. So while she's doing that, the high school teachers are making sure that the academic portion's met. Once this is all completed, we put it all together, send it back to the high school, and the high school then gives the student their diploma. So if they went to Lincoln Way, or if they went to Joliet, or they went to Plainfield, there's my dog, I'm so sorry, they'll get the high school diploma from the school that they went to. So that's a wonderful program, and I wish more kids would be aware of it and could take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I did put Libby's email in the comments, so she would be the person to contact if you are interested in that. But in 2 weeks, on September 16th, one of our instructors will be here talking in more detail about the ESLTP program, if you think that's something for you. Because it's amazing.
It is amazing. It's really wonderful.
So, Libby, before we go, is there anything else you would like to share with everyone today?
Well, I just want to say, if you think there's a reason why you can't take a class with us, let me know what the reason is, because I bet I can find a solution for you. For example, some of the students have come and said, well, I can't do online because I don't have a computer. You don't need a computer. Do you have a phone? Because the software that we use can all be accessed through your phone. So if you don't have a computer, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We even have the ability, and if you don't have a phone that you think would be reliable, we will figure out something else. Just if you feel that there's a roadblock that's holding you back, give us an opportunity to talk to you and see if we can't help you. That's the one message that I want to get out to you today, that we really are here to serve you, and we really are here to help you solve your problems. A lot of times I say, what my job description really is to take down roadblocks, is to help people find the way to reach their goals. So if you think you have a roadblock I haven't seen, I think I'll surprise you. So you give me a chance, or give Kathy a chance. We're pretty good at taking roadblocks down for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we kind of like it.
Yeah, we do. Kind of enjoy that.
Some days if Libby's had a stressful day, I'll be like, you need to spend some time with a student.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know she'll be happy again.
Right? Exactly. I need a student. Someone give me a student.
So as you can see, the Department of Adult Education and Literacy offers many opportunities. We have English as a second language. You can earn your high school diploma. If you are applying to college, but your skills aren't quite there, we can help you to build some basic skills in reading and math also. And you possibly could complete some credits to earn your high school diploma through your local high school. So please let us know if you have questions. I put Libby's email and my email in the comments. I'm also going to include our office information in the comments. So if you have any additional questions on enrollment, you can do that. We'll put the link for the enrollment in the comments also. But if you have any questions, really feel free to reach out to us. We are here to help you. And that's what we do, and we enjoy it. So we do, because we are online this semester, we want to make sure that we're reaching as many people as possible. So please feel free to share any of our Facebook posts, our flyers, anything that would help the people in our community to get the classes that they need. So next week, we're going to have our literacy specialist, Galina Cardulari, and she will be telling us how, as a student, you could get a tutor, what kind of situations you could set up to work with a tutor, and even how you can become a volunteer tutor yourself. So make sure you're here next week at 3 o'clock, because she's going to have some great information for us.
Bring popcorn. Bring popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one.
So that is it for today. We appreciate everyone joining us. And again, let us know if there's anything that we can help you with.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye, guys.